So this week I ate entirely for my follicular phase. So this is the week after your period when energy is rising, estrogen is rising. Oh, this egg's not opening up. And your body just thrives on lighter and fresher food. I wanted to see if matching my meals to this phase of the cycle would actually make me feel better without making my life a lot more complicated, because I already have enough of that as a busy mom. So I'll show you exactly what I ate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks, and how I kept it all mom-friendly. Let's start with breakfast. To keep things super simple, I always had the same breakfast. So this is my protein smoothie bowl or protein mousse situation. It's half a cup of berries, then a generous scoop of whey protein powder. I like to use grass-fed and unflavored. Then 2 tablespoons of chia, 1 tablespoon of flax seeds, and a teaspoon of honey. If you do a flavored whey, you don't have to use the honey. Then top this up with some water. I kind of have to measure the water because sometimes I nail the consistency and sometimes I don't. I think not everyone would love this, but I genuinely look forward to this breakfast. I love it so much. It's so filling. It gives me the 30 grams of protein and I'm thriving on it. Moving on to lunch, also made it super simple for me. Always some sort of the same lunch. I always like to have some rocket on the side, some sauerkraut, then some situation with eggs, either scrambled, sunny side up, or an omelette with parmesan. I usually always do 3 eggs, some olive oil, some herb salt, and usually sourdough, either with butter or with avocado. So this day I did avocado, and I also had some lovely goat cheese that I put on top as well. Yeah, sometimes I do butter. Sometimes instead of doing the goat cheese, I put parmesan onto my eggs, which is also lovely. But yeah, lunch was always some variation of this meal. For snacks, I did a snack prep on the Sunday before the week, so I knew I would have healthy snacks on hand. I did some blueberry lemon yogurt muffins that are kind of light. In the middle, you can also see some peanut butter currant granola balls, and then I'm just breaking up some super seed crackers. And I also made some gelatin gummies. These are with strawberry speed and a little bit of coconut milk. They were super yummy. Other than that, I also had some fruit and my adaptogenic hot chocolate. For these snacks, I will post them next week, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the follicular snack prep video. Now comes the fun part where I actually did not eat the same thing every day. So we had a roasted chicken with sweet potato and a salad for Sunday night dinner. It was super filling and still kind of light and fresh, which I really liked in this phase of the cycle. Monday, we had a lemony chicken noodle soup with the leftover chicken from Sunday, which was super easy to cook and also very yummy. I also put some chickpeas in there. It was kind of light, but still very filling. Tuesday's dinner was Vietnamese-inspired lettuce wraps, super yummy with chicken mince and some veggies, then rice, avocado, cucumber, a yummy sauce with soy and sesame, some mint. That was actually so yummy, and I am so glad I did this. I will definitely make this again with the lettuce, then the rice, then the chicken, the avocado, the cucumber, the sauce. Everything went just so nicely together, and I kind of want to eat this again now that I'm making the voiceover. Wednesday was a fresh halloumi bowl with a salad, avocado, sweet potato, and crispy chickpeas. Yum. Thursday, we had tempeh bowls with rice, fresh veg, and peanut sauce. So good. Definitely, yeah, such a good crunch and like the nutty flavors of the tempeh and the peanut sauce. So good. Everyone devoured this one for sure. Friday was beef sliders with oven veggies and cucumber salad, lettuce, and some sauerkraut. Also very delicious. And Saturday was pizza with the family, but we also had some salad on the side. So, did it make a difference? What I really liked this week, I did avoid that heavy feeling that I sometimes had when I eat meals that are maybe more optimal for other phases in the cycle, like lots of carbs, lots of starchy cooked vegetables, and maybe more comfort style foods. And with the fresh salads, the lean proteins, I definitely felt lighter and more energized during that phase of the cycle. I also just sometimes tend to fall into making the same dinners over and over again just because I want to keep things simple as a busy mom. I also sometimes don't have the energy to think about what to cook, which is not always ideal for the follicular phase, because during that phase you just want to have light and fresh meals that don't make you feel heavy. Syncing it a little bit to your cycle so you can feel your best, like fresher salads, lighter proteins, and just lighter options in general. I also synced the snack prep I made for this week to my follicular phase. So instead of making heavy and dense brownies and cookies that are still somewhat healthy because everything I make is refined sugar-free and gluten-free, but wouldn't have been ideal for that phase. So I made blueberry yogurt collagen muffins that were really light and yet satisfying. I made some beet and strawberry gelatin gummies and some currant peanut butter muesli balls. They still satisfied my snack and treat cravings without weighing me down. I think that really made a difference. As much as I love brownies and cookies, they are not necessarily ideal for that phase of the cycle. And while there's nothing wrong with indulging in them occasionally, I know that if I had have prepped a batch of delicious brownies, I would have had one every day, which is not ideal. I know that it can be really daunting trying to sync your meals to your cycle. Something complicated and just too much when you're already juggling mom life and trying to cook for a family. But I think it doesn't have to be that complicated, because small swaps can really make a big difference. Think swapping heavy starches for a fresh salad, red meat for chicken and fish, and generally just more raw and fresh veggies during that phase. I currently use Notion to plan our meals and dinners, and I'm starting for each recipe to add a tag that will let me know for which phase it is somewhat ideal. So it makes my weekly dinner planning and cycle syncing somewhat easier. And I'm also working on a meal planner that would take out the guesswork and suggest dinners for each phase of your cycle, keeping in mind that you have a family to feed as well. For me, that would free up so much of my time, so I'm primarily doing it for me, but I would be interested if that's something that you'd be interested in. And also let me know in the comments, would you like to see a luteal phase and menstruation phase version of this experiment? That was pretty much it for this video. If you did like it, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of my next videos. I have a few series that I keep making more videos of. One is healthy but hot, treats that are actually healthy but taste delicious, what I cook when I don't feel like cooking, healthy meals for the whole family, experiments like these ones, and some wellness chats where we just chat about things that currently on my mind. Excited to see you again soon. Bye bye.